You're checking out Multi-Tap here on YouTube or whatever platform you're listening to. Make sure you hit the comment section, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel. Show some love and support. And don't forget, we on them social medias. We on them TikToks. We on them Twitters. We on them IGs. So make sure you tap in with us so you can tap out right here on Multi-Tap. Welcome YouTube. Welcome everybody to the first ever episode of the Multi-Tap. You're tapping in with Leeboy, aka Black Thor, and my co-host, the self-proclaimed king of games, Cruja.
No, hold on. I'm not self-proclaimed.
You're self-proclaimed, bro.
No, my little brother proclaimed it back when he was like 6 years old. So that adds some validity to it, because you know.
I don't know about that.
No, he did.
We have to bring him on here and then have him verify that.
But
until then,
it was during Tetris, so I remember that. So that's what happened. I believe it was the 64 version.
Okay. All right, you hear this, folks? This is what you got to contend with. The self-proclaimed king of games, Cruja. Today we're going to be tapping into Ant-Man Quantumania, the highest second-week drop of any Marvel film.
Right,
okay?
Right.
And fans, the takeaway from the fans right now is that it's entertaining, but it doesn't live up to the MCU standards. You know, I believe Marvel told a lot of their best stories already, which is a whole nother subject we can get into, you know. It's not until they probably come up with the X-Men that they're going to establish something that I feel is going to be super blockbuster. But given that, what do you think? Because I didn't see it. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it, and it's unfortunate because you and I both know that we both used to be like the biggest just superhero movie in general fan. You know, I think we both more lean to DC when it comes to Marvel Cinematic Universe. But then you have Doctor Strange, which it started to lose a little bit of its flair. Doctor Strange 1 was an odd movie, but I liked it. I thought it was good for what it was, and then you got into Doctor Strange 2 and he was a babysitter, essentially. I think they ruined the Scarlet Witch character. I think that she could have been
oh my god.
I think she could have been a little
I love Multiverse of Madness. That's actually was a good movie.
I know. I thought parts of it were good, right? But I think that it could have been handled I think could have been handled better, because Marvel has a villain problem. And they always do the villains wrong, with the exception of Thanos. I think Thanos did good. I think Loki was a good villain. But I think outside of that, you have hit and misses. And I think the way they treated Scarlet Witch is she was very menacing in the beginning of the movie. And then she disappeared for an amount of movie as we told this journey of America Chavez going through the streets with, Doctor Strange, and he's like a babysitter. I wish there would have been more interaction between him and Scarlet Witch. They showed Scarlet Witch being very menacing, and in the way they ended it with Scarlet Witch, I don't think was a fantastic ending at all.
Bro, she killed people. Spoiler alert for anybody who didn't see the movie. She murdered people. Before, right. I remember you telling me you had a problem with the Marvel villains because the Marvel villains weren't like Thanos. They were scared to get their hands dirty. And when I saw this movie, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna love this."
No, I love
homegirl.
But
she wiped out.
But you're mistaking
the people that was with Doctor Strange at the priest place, whatever. She was going in, bro. Snap Professor Xavier neck.
Right.
She tore somebody in half. Like, bro, she was going in.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem with Scarlet Witch. I thought that she was fantastic in it. I have a problem with the way they ended her, especially towards the end of the movie. Right? She could have been this just big bad. And in the end of the movie, she wound up fizzling out and she wound up killing herself in the way that she did. And I just think that it could have been handled a lot better. I think she should have paid for her sins. I think she should have been locked up in the rig.
But did she die though?
Well, we don't know if she died, but I still think it was a cop-out ending. Okay. Because Doctor Strange, once again, and we're gonna touch in this when we go deeper down the rabbit hole with this. But Doctor Strange was not a hero in that movie. He wasn't. He was not heroic at all. What heroic deed did he do?
Look out!
Me? Yes, he when it gets to other Doctor Strange with the book.
America Chavez was the hero of the Doctor Strange 2 movie. To a lesser extent, Scarlet Witch was the hero of a Doctor Strange 2 movie.
How, Sway?
They could have done it better.
Scarlet Witch wasn't no hero, bro.
She stopped herself. She stopped herself. She was the hero.
If you can get the kudo point for Scarlet Witch stopping herself, I can get the kudo point for him not taking her powers.
America Chavez knocked some sense into her with that one punch. You know,
and he
with
saved
all the
her, bro. He went back and
behind.
got the dark powers, and he went to go sick. Because if not, it would have been a wrap for her. Because she didn't dig deep until he came along and showed her that he was a different kind of person. Because he could have said, "Nah, I'm gonna take your powers." That was the only option that's available. I'm about to do what my doppelganger did in the other universe, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He just wasn't the hero of his movie. He did not save the day.
So what does that say about the current? Like, again, we're talking about the current state of Marvel. What does this say that a film like Ant-Man, especially now that they're introducing this character, Kang the Conqueror, and if anybody's seen the Loki series, which was great, by the way, I believe that was great. Yeah. And now you got this happening with Ant-Man, the pushback on the timeline for Blade, they're pushing that back, and just the overall state of how these films are turning out, because this right here was like, it was really a blow to Marvel. Like, they weren't expecting this movie to do what it did, like to fall off like it fell off, you know.
Right.
I honestly felt like another thing that could be a problem with Marvel is that you know, they put all their chips and all their eggs into one basket with the Infinity storyline, because that's like one of the biggest Marvel storylines. And it's like, where do we go from here? Like, for example, when they fight Kang, like when that comes up to that fight, who they gonna bring out? Like, who are people gonna be hyped to see fight this character? There's no Iron Man, there's no Captain America, there's none of the characters that you like from Infinity War. Who are you gonna get? All right, you may get Spider-Man, you may get Doctor Strange, and maybe the Incredible Hulk, but after that, like, who?
You lost Iron Man, you lost Captain America. The rest of your team is not going to get any backing from the fans because we don't have investments. And a lot of the heroes that they're releasing, like America Chavez, like Riri Williams, they're okay in itself, but a lot of the fans didn't even read the comics. They didn't like them in the comics because they have no flaws. They're not interesting characters. They're overpowered characters that start off overpowered, they end up overpowered, and nothing happens to them. It's boring. You should have brought out X-Men or Fantastic Four.
I agree with you because, like I said, as I have here in my notes, not until they establish the X-Men in the MCU that it's going to be popping again like they had it when the Avengers first dropped on the scene. And speaking of X-Men, damn. And speaking of X-Men, let's go and segue us into the X-Men. This year are celebrating 60 years of mutant menacing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And they're going to be introducing, because the X-Men started in 1963, and they're going to be introducing, or reintroducing rather, later this year. They're going to be bringing back the X-Men 1990s cartoon. I think it's X-Men 97.
X-Men 97. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's supposed to pick up right after the 92 series.
Right.
I believe,
now, let me ask this question.
I'm not sure if it's rumored or if it's confirmed, but I believe they're picking back up with the Sinister story where it stopped.
Could be.
I believe that's where it's going.
The last thing we see is Professor Xavier. I think he had some kind of aneurysm. He had to be taken.
He fell off that chair.
I've fallen and I can't get out.
He didn't have Life Alert back then. I don't know if it's still around.
Now, he did have Life Alert. He had a Lilandria from the Shi'ar Empire. And she came and got her man. She said, get your ass up, Charles. Get in this hovercraft. We're going to outer space. And then Magneto was there. So who knows? Magneto might be the leader of the X-Men when we come back, if they pick it up from that last episode. Marvel, to me, again, I just think they told their best stories and all of that. And then when you hold on. When you start to go into looking at, like, for example, She-Hulk, again, State of Marvel, a show that was trying to Panther and it didn't do so well. Now, I love She-Hulk. I'm a She-Hulk fan. Everybody knows. If anybody knows me from League's Final Word from before, I love the buttermilks. You know what I'm saying? I love them. So I'm going to watch a TV show, geared toward the buttermilks. But you can't have the buttermilks acting all crazy now out here, okay? And then that's what happened with this TV show. They really Oh man, are we going to get into that topic? We're going to save that one.
We're still on Marvel, so we're still on Marvel. So technically, it's covering it. So I can tell you from my perspective with She-Hulk. I don't know She-Hulk outside of knowing She-Hulk, right? Like I know that she exists. I've never read a comic. Never really cared for She-Hulk character, right? When they came out with the Disney Plus show, I seen the commercial. Did not care for it. I had no interest in it whatsoever. So I can't really talk on what they did to She-Hulk. I just know that what they were
the whole
doing.
Thing.
You watched the whole thing, right? I've heard of the last episode, and that made me not even want to try. So
that last episode, my God! Listen, I ain't gonna spoil it for y'all. I want the numbers up. Go watch.
Why would you watch
that last episode of She-Hulk?
Was it a good show? Was it a good show?
Huh?
Did you think it was a good show?
No.
So why would you want the numbers up? Leave the numbers down. They need to learn their lesson. They need to fail so that we can get some better crap. Because the writers that they have right now are just.
You want better crap, or you want better material? I wouldn't say better. I want
better material. We got the characters. We already got the crap. The characters established. Stop giving us the crap stories. The crap stories that don't mean anything and nothing happens and there's no consequence. Now you keep saying you think that they told their best story with Thanos. No, they didn't. They still got Galactus. They still got Apocalypse. They still got everything that they can go into. They can still do that. But they didn't.
The Infinity Gauntlet storyline, to me, I'm gonna just say this, and maybe people in the comment section, this is gonna be our first debate that we have between me and this man here, because we always debating. We always two sides of one coin. Do you believe that Marvel is gonna tell a better story than the Infinity Gauntlet when you had Iron Man, Captain America, all these other characters that were great who are no longer around? And you pulled out Thanos, the Infinity Stones. The only one that I could say that may come close, and that's if Secret Wars. Okay, the Secret Wars when they went to the planet and whatnot. Secret Wars and anything X-Men. Because I'm telling you, once they show up, we popping again. We back in business.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to debate with you on that because even though you think it's going to be our first debate, because I agree with you.
Leave it in the comment section, folks.
I agree with you. I don't think they're going to tell a better story than the Infinity Gauntlet. I don't think so. But you're saying that they told their best story. I think that they can still tell good stories.
No, I'm not saying they can't tell good stories. I'm saying they told one of the best stories they could possibly tell, and then now they have to try to play, how can we bring it after we done went here? How do we go back there again?
They could have easily done it by your next movie after Endgame. You did your whole Spider-Man multiverse thing. You didn't need to bring Doctor Strange in the multiverse. You didn't need to bring any of that, right? Your next movie out the gate should have been the X-Men.
Yeah. So, okay, what about the state of DC? We got DC now, and DC is in an interesting place. DC, because Marvel is such an influx.
Is it in an interesting place? I want to say DC's in a boring place right now.
The Justice League film was done by Josh Whedon when he had to finish the pieces for that film, and it dropped. It was a straight turd. And everybody was like, oh, what the hell is this? Like, we don't see the vision. And I remember distinctly when Man of Steel came out. A lot of people didn't like the fact that Superman killed Zod.
Whoa,
they didn't understand the vision that Zack Snyder had. And I explained this to a lot of people, that Zack Snyder had a vision of making the world of DC kind of dark. And it was going to move into the light. And it was Batman v Superman, right? He walked into the courtroom as it omniscience of arrogance, like, why I gotta be here? You know what I mean? Like, they don't believe me. Like why I gotta defend myself for what happened? And then he saw the jaw, the jaw P.
But see, they explain. So it seems like he doesn't know why he has to be there, but they explained that in the Ultimate version a little bit, because what it is that when Superman came, he saved Lois, so he broke everything. People seen Superman, and then what they did was he had his people that were there, the people that you met, those bad mercenaries. They wound up killing a lot of those people and burning them as if Superman did it with his heat vision. So it looked like Superman charred all of these innocent people. So that way Superman was out of control. He was charring people, in this backwater town in some desert. And so that's what was more of like the trial was for Superman's actions. So it was showing how Superman was responsible for that. Superman was responsible for this guy losing his legs. Superman was responsible for a bunch of other things. So when he came to the court, he came to go for his actions.
I'm laughing because now that you're saying that, it makes him walk into the court with that face even worse because he look like he didn't give a fuck.
No. So it looks like it looks like he's about to give up on being Superman. Period. And that's what it's supposed to be because he's tired of being blamed for everything. And then you got on the court, and you got on the TV. They're like, "What happens if Superman? Why is Superman begging? Why is Superman picking and choosing who he gets to save?" So you got that coming out,
Right? Because remember, he was soaking the Lois in the bathroom, and he wasn't going to show up.
Right.
She had to convince him to go. He was like, I ain't got to go there. Like, they don't believe I want to. If they don't believe that I'm on their side, then so be it. Like, he didn't care. Like, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, when he showed, it makes it now even worse when he walks into the courtroom. It's like, here we go again with this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what happens is that it's more impactful because when it happens, he's like, I couldn't see it. The chair. I should have seen it because it was lined with lead or whatever.
Should have just laser beamed the jar of piss. But then she would have got mad that the piss spilled on her.
Yeah. That scene to me was funny though because because she was the one that brought it up because Lex was trying to like play nice with her to try and get the kryptonite, and then she's like, I don't care if you call it grandma's peach tea.
Grandma's peach tea. Yep.
So that was. I think that was a good scene, but I think that.
But all right, so we can agree with this then that was the premise. Like they were showing a darker DC universe, like how Batman. People got upset that Batman killed people. Like Batman don't kill nobody. Like what's wrong with y'all?
Right.
Like, but the tone behind him killing people was the fact that his Robin died, so that made him a darker Batman. And I saw it as that the Batman v Superman Into the Dawn of Justice was going to lead us into a lighter, because they brought in Wonder Woman, which was like the light character. Like she didn't have like her stories and her movies had nothing to do with like nothing to do with like dark, like nothing dark in her characters. She was like the light being brought into that team. And then you had Aquaman. He really didn't have like darkness in his stuff. So you start to get these warmer feeling characters between these two menacing characters who were basically, for the most part, in fans' eyes, they were in the dark. And it had to be brought to light. You know what I mean? And it was going to turn Batman from being this guy who killed people to starting to care more. Like to get back to his roots of being like how Batman traditionally is. Superman, now that he has a team and Lois and everything around him, and how everybody literally when he died, they looked up to him like you was that dude, like we really needed you. And he felt wanted at this point, and he was like, this is why, when he came back and at the end, the scene when he's fighting, he looks like he's fighting now, not to be, this is something I have to do. It's more like, this is what I want to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's where I felt the vision of Zack Snyder was going. And that's why I had so much appreciation, because the Snyder cut was almost like watching a whole nother film.
Yeah, it was like a whole other movie. And
it was like a whole other film. I'm like, what the hell? He shot all of this? What the hell did Marvel send Josh Whedon over to DC to sabotage them?
I mean,
you're not going to make a better movie than my damn Avengers. Avengers 1, goddammit. But Josh Whedon did Avengers 1.
Yeah, no, I know who he is.
He was like, I'm gonna fuck this movie up over here.
But I think that it could be that. It could be also that was Zack Snyder's original vision, and when he seen it didn't work out, he's like, oh, it didn't work out. Let me get some
I'm gonna backtrack on this. Nah, I don't think
that either.
I don't think that's what it was. But like I said, DC is in a peculiar place because also we have this year, it's the last season of The Flash on the CW. That holds a very near and dear place in my heart, because anybody that knows me from my channel, that was the thing. I'm a big Flash fan. Anybody that knows me, I'm a big Flash fan. You can see it in the where we at right here, courtesy of my man's right here, This is courtesy of. This is my Oscar-winning nominee trophy of The Flash, courtesy of my man Cruja, aka self-proclaimed king of games. He wants me to say that to you guys, by the way. That's
It's not
written in my
self-proclaimed.
contract.
No,
He
it's not
doesn't tell you that. It's
self-proclaimed.
written in my
It's not
contract
supposed
while
to
I'm
be
on his channel.
self-proclaimed.
Anyway, but the
You gotta
last
read
season
your
of The
contract.
Flash this year, and 9 seasons, bro. Long time to be on TV. 9.
Yeah.
Wow. Really long time, and Grant Gustin did an excellent job as the Flash. Do I need to go into the state of DC with the other guy who's playing the Flash?
No,
Mr.
no.
Ezra Miller?
Well, I mean, he's first off screen. He's a problem. He's the problem off screen. I don't know. I don't even understand how he still has a job when
I understand why. I know why. I exactly know why, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, Johnny Depp lost his job with Disney for something far less. For something that didn't even happen, which is insane.
On the blanket.
On the blanket. She's like I'm not gonna say.
Mira took a doodle on the blanket.
Oh man, she thought she was leaving him booty.
But yeah, you're right. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. That's why I said it's a topic for another video. I know why they're keeping this guy, but it's like, if we're gonna reboot, if this guy here, who's in charge now? James Gunn, right?
Which I like his movies. His movies are fantastic. Did you see Peacemaker?
I love Peacemaker.
I love that show. I loved Peacemaker. I thought it was an excellent show. And I couldn't see how they were going to take that character and make a show out of it. But I genuinely loved Peacemaker. I loved the writing in it. I loved the acting. I loved everything. I loved the opening. The opening is
the opening is crazy. Peacemaker is a damn good show. I tell everybody to check it out. The storyline is good. I'm not gonna lie, I binge watched it. It really made me want to come back to watch more and more episodes. John Cena, he does an excellent job.
So I like James Gunn. He did that. James Gunn also did Guardians of the Galaxy, which was fantastic. You take these no-name heroes and you turn them into 2 good movies. I know people didn't like the second one. I thought the second one was good. I don't think it was the best movie, but I think it was a solid 8. And I don't think you need to make a 10 out of every movie.
Solid.
Yeah, I don't think you need a 10 out of every movie, right? You got to see some emotional. I shed a tear for Yondu when he died. So
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Mary Poppins, y'all. So you had those fantastic movies. And I know James Gunn did a couple of other things, and I know he's a fantastic writer. So on one hand, you have the promise that you're giving this fantastic guy that has gotten property and he's made gold out of these properties. He's had both experience with DC and Marvel now with extraordinary characters. But how is he going to treat the Trinity? Well, he's going to treat the Trinity by starting the DC reboot with the Authority, right? How is that? If you're going to reboot, you do Batman, Superman. But people are tired of seeing the origin story. We don't want to see the origin story. You do Batman, Superman, World's Finest. Why couldn't you just do that? You could have started off the DC universe fantastic, but you're going to start off with something like the Authority. By the time people get through with the Authority, who's to say that they're going to come back for Batman, Superman? Look at what's happening with the Marvel movies. They're not coming back for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Nobody's there. Nobody came for that. Nobody came for that. And the numbers started going down because the numbers started going down when with Thor Ragnarok, with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse, the numbers are going down of people, and they keep saying like the ticket prices are going up. If you adjust for inflation, it's actually less people seeing. They're just paying more money. So you're losing your audience. You're losing I think it was like a 33% of your audience is gone completely after Endgame, right? That you didn't bring them back with Doctor Strange. You didn't bring them back with Thor: Love and Thunder, and now Ant-Man and the Wasp is suffering. So what's going to happen with the next movie? And you need to take care of your characters, and I don't know what James Gunn is doing when he's starting it off.
Not to cut you off, but what I'm hearing from you, if I can understand this for the people that's watching, are you saying that DC and Marvel are basically in the same boat, that they're suffering from almost the same thing?
Yes, absolutely. Because James Gunn is going to start with another obscure group of people, and you're rebooting. Not only are you rebooting, you managed to piss off the fans, because even though people didn't like Man of Steel, there's not one person I met that said Henry Cavill is a bad Superman.
Henry Cavill is Superman. They are messing up and making a grave mistake by letting him go.
They are. That not one person has said that. So you're getting rid of Superman, and then instead of bringing Superman to us, you're gonna bring somebody that I don't even know about. And I'm not saying I'm the comic book expert.
Which I believe, if I could piggyback off of what you're saying, which I believe also is now the person that you're bringing in to play Superman, you're actually putting him at a disadvantage because of the love of people have for Henry Cavill playing Superman. So you're bringing in a new character who people are going to automatically they may or may not want to warm up to this guy, whoever it may be.
But that would even be fine. That would even be fine. Like you want to start brand new. He's gonna paint the target on the next Superman's back. Fine. You didn't bring in Ben Affleck, even though from the get go it was always tough because he didn't get his series that he was promised. He was promised the series.
Oh my gosh,
he wasn't promised. I think it would have been fantastic, but he wasn't promised that. So you had problems with him. You didn't bring him back. Fine. Gal Gadot, I don't know why you didn't bring her back. She's not even causing any problems, but you didn't bring her back. You decide that you're going to keep Ezra Miller, and it's also rumored Aquaman, right? And then you also got John Cena Peacemaker. So you're picking and choosing who you're bringing back. So only half your universe is rebooted, and you got the half a universe that nobody really cares about. Women like when Jason Momoa takes off his shirt, but if Aquaman was gone tomorrow, nobody would really care. He was a good Aquaman. He was funny. He's not the stereotypical Aquaman. He's not the mainstay character. Like, nobody would care. Like, they could replace him, and then we would be a little sad because we miss Jason Momoa and his funny antics, but that doesn't matter. He's not the Trinity. He's not the Holy Trinity. So you keep him. You keep a Flash that was very divisive. People didn't like how he was skating on ice when every time he would run. Nobody liked that. Nobody liked his acting. He was too awkward. He didn't
way too awkward. He tried to be. It was like they were making him Peter Parker. Like, I didn't understand that. Like, I get it where you was trying to go with it, but it was like, nah, bro, you too awkward to be the Flash, bro. And me being probably one of the biggest Flash fans out there. I do not endorse him as the Flash. I really don't. I would rather have it like you said before. When they do this Flash movie at the end, the dust clears and it's damn Grant Gustin in the costume.
He makes a joke. He's like, "Whoa, I feel funny." And then when he takes off the mask, he would have been Grant Gustin.
Yes, let it happen.
What they did
by the forces.
What they did was they took the part of the Snyderverse, because people had problems with the Snyderverse. They took the parts of Snyderverse where nobody had a problem with, which was the casting of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. No one had a problem with those three characters. Like, when Ben Affleck was first announced, people couldn't believe of him as being Batman, but then he bulked up and he fit the suit and he was a fantastic Batman, even though his story was terrible. But they had the perfect casting there with those three. You took that away from the Snyderverse because you want to go away from the Snyderverse, but you kept the junk. I mean, Aquaman's not junk. I like Aquaman. I even like the Aquaman movie. I thought that was fantastic. But you kept Ezra Miller, which nobody cared for. Nobody. If you're going to keep Ezra Miller, you keep everybody. Okay? And then you make Ezra Miller into this great movie. Everything that I'm hearing is that this Flashpoint movie is fantastic. The commercials are selling me. I want to see it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Listen, everybody that's watching this, I'm not going to lie. I can't. I even though I said I do not like, and I'm going to say it again to the life of me, I do not like Ezra Miller as the Flash. I don't. But that doesn't stop the fact that I believe this movie looks good. This movie looks good. Really good.
I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be on the same level as Spider-Man No Way Home. Fantastic, and does nothing for the story. It's not going to advance the DC universe at all, right?
Well, I would believe if they're going to do it the way I think they're going to do it, this is going to be the catalyst to reset. Because remember, in the comic books, again, here I go again, trying to make sense out of comic books in a world where everybody wants to change the damn movies. But anyway, in the comic books, the Flash in DC has always been their restart guy. Like, when they want to restart Flash, like there's always there's always some kind of, we want to change and rewrite history. Flash, use him to rewrite stuff because they always use him as this catalyst. So I would assume to keep that continuity going within the movies and the DC franchises, to start their reboot, what better character to do it than to do it the way they did in the comic books, is to use the Flash. May not be the same storyline, but you can use him in the same way they used him in the comic books to reboot the universe that they're doing. But again, who are they gonna have to play the Flash? Is it still gonna be this guy? But I will say this: and we're gonna move on. I will say this: I would love to see that this is the final season. I'm gonna say it again: this is the final season of the CW Flash, which means that Grant Gustin will be available.
It's not gonna happen. Like, look at this cast.
Hey, you gotta have hope, bro. You gotta have hope.
This cast,
that cast is great, except for that dude over there in that corner, behind Wonder Woman and right next to Batman, right in the middle.
But the rest of them could pick it up. They could have redeemed him. They could have did a million and one things. But you're getting rid of these three, and you're gonna paint a target on Superman's back. And even if you bring in the best Superman we've ever seen, better than Christopher Reeves, better than Henry Cavill, better than Brandon Routh, right? Because he was a good Superman. Bad movie. He's a good Superman. Even if you bring the best Superman we ever seen, you got this guy.
How, Sway?
You got the Flash right here. You got him.
Don't zoom in on that dude, bro.
You got him, right? You got him.
That's the eyes of someone ready to mess up a universe, bro, and a company if given a chance.
You got him.
That's the eyes.
Like you should have just
blooded speeds. That's not the Flash, bro. That's the reverse Flash. That cat.
That's the negative Flash. You can't even beat the Flash.
All right, so check this out. We're talking about the state of Marvel. We're talking about the state of DC. Let's talk about the state of the company that's behind Marvel, Disney. Disney and their qualms of trying to make live action movies. They're moving away from animation. I noticed this has been their thing now because they're so dry. To me, I believe they're so dried up in ideas that they have to go to the well of nostalgia and mess with it. They got to take our 90s and 80s and stir it in a nice little nasty pot and mess with it. And the thing that they're doing right now is they're messing with the Little Mermaid. We have the live action Little Mermaid coming up. And this is a hot topic. It has generated so much heat on social media. It even divides people depending on who you talk to. If you don't know, there's going to be a live action Little Mermaid movie. Which is funny because there was already a live action Little Mermaid musical. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, 2019, there was a live action Little Mermaid musical that had the girl who plays Moana in the movie. Mm-hmm. She was actually Ariel in the musical. And it also had John Stamos in it. It had Shaggy. Guess who Shaggy played? Let me see if you can take a guess who Shaggy played.
Sebastian?
Man, you're right. Bumbaclaw. Anyway, they had him play it. And my thing is this. I don't want to get into the controversy because I do feel sorry for the girl who's playing Ariel because of all of the I really feel the upset of the backlash against her because she's doing her job.
But she's also warranting some of the backlash because you're getting backlash and you're getting unwanted backlash. And I understand that it shouldn't be directed towards you because you weren't.
It should be directed toward the company. They're the ones that's putting this movie out. Let's not act like she got the production company.
She took a job that's probably going to propel her career up. But you can't sit there and say that your movie is better than the original. You always have to respect the original. And she said that.
I do remember slightly off air you telling me that in one of our other conversations that you said that she said that her movie is gonna be better than. I'm like, wow, she put a foot in the mouth on that one. Can't say that.
You never disrespect the original.
Going a little too hard. Going a little too hard there. I believe Disney should have made a Tiana movie. If you're gonna go that route and do original characters, and I think this is it's a hot topic. We're talking about it now because we're bringing up Disney, but they should have did a Tiana movie. She doesn't get enough respect put on her as a character anyway.
Let me ask you because you and I both have daughters, right? We're both girl dads, and you're the demographic that they're going for with this movie. You're the demographic that they're going for with this movie. They're changing the character of the way Ariel normally looks to pander towards you. Now you just finished saying that your favorite superhero was the Flash, right? Not Wally West. It wasn't Wally West. I know
it was Wally West. Wally West Flash is my favorite.
Well, yeah, but you like
Barry Allen.
I'm sorry, but you like the Wally West from the comics. You didn't like the Wally West that was in the Flash show because Grant Gustin actually acted like the real Wally West. He acted like Wally West from the comics. But you didn't need to see like, you know, the race changing for you to like the Flash. And not to say that, you know, race is not important, but you shouldn't just bring out the Little Mermaid, just swap the races and be like, here's our good product. When you could have taken that money and you could have put it into an actual, you know, product that could have propelled anything that they could have. Like, how many stories have we not heard from Africa that we're missing? Like folklore that we've never heard of, that they could have easily put this same money and this same energy behind and made a franchise for decades. How many of that they could have did? They're doing this and it doesn't even look good. And even if you take out the race swapping, which you know, it doesn't really matter to an extent, but even if you take that out, the CGI doesn't look good. You know, the songs are not going to be as good as the classics because they got to modernize everything and they're going to change it, and there's going to be a lot of auto tune in it. It's just not going to wind up being as good as the original classic. And you took all this money, you dumped it here so you can make a quick buck, and you can be like, oh, look how brave we are, when the brave thing to do would have been to make an original story. How do you feel?
How I feel, especially, you know, being a father of 3 girls. Yeah, I would love to have them do an original character. There's so many original characters that they don't have to mess with the characters that we all grew up with. Like, you didn't have to do that. Like, that to me, I felt like again, like I said, what happened to Tiana? Why didn't she get a movie?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was an original black character that they made and made her a princess. Why isn't she pushed forward? Why do we have to sit there and change Ariel into a black girl to fit, like you said, a demographic of black people to reach them and say, hey, yeah, we got a black Ariel? No, what about Tiana? You know, it's just no different than you changing, like we was just talking about comic books. Leave Superman. Stop trying to give us black Superman.
Yeah.
What happened to Icon? Icon was Static Shock, Black
Static
Lightning.
Shock.
We have so many different black characters. John Stewart as the Green Lantern. What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Many other characters.
Well,
like,
not
hold on. Like, Marvel dealing with when Marvel made, because we missed this one, when Marvel made and sat there and made this guy, the Falcon,
I was just about to say
America.
I was just about to say it. The problem with the Falcon is that, you know, he was a lesser known hero. I've known of him back in the day with his red suit and Red Wing. You know, he was an okay character back in the day, but he was more stereotypical. I love the Falcon in the Marvel universe. I love what they did with Anthony.
I love the way they did it. They made him more like
tech savvy.
Tech savvy, like Batman. Not saying he's Batman, but they made him tech savvy. It made
he's like Nightwing. He's like Nightwing.
They made what you saw in the comics more believable. Like,
right.
If this is a real person, how would this work? You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that people shoot him and his wings will pop out and create a shield for him.
Right.
That's dope.
I thought it was good.
Tell me that you care more about being Captain America than being the Falcon? The way soldier should have been damn Captain America. He the one with the damn suit powers and the metal arm and shit.
But he also needed a redemption arc, you know. And what they're doing is they're essentially giving hand-me-downs. It's like if you and I work at a job, right, and I'm your manager, right, and I leave, and they go, "Hey, Leeboy, you want to be manager?" And you go, "Yeah, okay, but you got to be called Cruja." Why do you got to be called Cruja to be manager? Why does he have to be Captain America, be the hero? Why couldn't Falcon be a hero? Why couldn't you make Falcon Captain Falcon, or you can't use Captain Falcon?
It's because
it's already taken.
Then I can claim to be the self-proclaimed king of games. And let's transition. Let's transition.
Wait. Just while we're on this. Wait, we're on this topic. I gotta leave with one thing, because like I said, I love the arc that they were going with Falcon. They could have easily propelled him. They could have put all that money behind him, but instead they made him Captain America. And so here's what's gonna happen. In 5 years, what's gonna be on the shelf? Is it gonna be the Falcon as Captain America, or is it gonna be Steve Rogers as Captain America when a kid walks into a toy show?
Oh, it's gonna be Steve Rogers, of course.
It's gonna be Steve Rogers. So you lost the Falcon when you could have had the Falcon for years. You could have bigged that brand up, and it could have been side by side with Captain America, and you could have had a Falcon toy that was just as good as a Captain America toy. But in 5 years, nobody's gonna know who the Falcon is, because they changed him into Captain America, and they're gonna get rid of that to bring back Steve Rogers.
That's the whole point.
Even like you know, race changing Ariel, even race changing everything, even identity. That would be fine if you told a good story. There's no good story behind it. The only story behind the Little Mermaid is that they changed the color of her skin. That's the only good story that they have.
And here's the crazy part about that. Before we got to move on, but the crazy thing about that is they didn't even change her father. Anyway, moving on.
No.
She's and black, and her father.
Just tell us a good story. Tell us something good. Don't bring us crap and be like, oh, but she's like you now. Well, what's the story? She's like you. No, where's the story? Where's the substance? Give me the substance.
She's like you now. She's like you now. Now shut up and if you know it's good for you, be quiet and watch the movie.
We're trying to be entertained, not lectured. Not lectured. Entertained.
Okay. So speaking of entertainment, as I was trying to get us here, we're here now. We're going to talk about Diablo 4. We're talking about games. Tapping into games. Diablo 4 was in beta about a week ago, and we were privy to playing that game. We had some time with it, and there was also I believe a beta a week before that. So we were in the open beta rather, and I gotta ask you, how did you like it?
So to be honest, we were only in the open beta because both you and I weren't gonna plunk down the money to get into the pre-order beta because I don't think you've played Diablo since the consoles, and I used to play on the PC a little bit. I played Diablo 2 was when I really played Diablo. I do have Diablo 3 on the PC and on the Switch, but I can be honest with you, I've never made it past 10 minutes. Not Diablo's fault. It's more that I'm into MMOs. So when we were coming into this, we didn't want to plunk down that, $60, $70 price tag just to get into the beta. So we tried the last weekend, which was the free beta. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was shocked how much I liked it. I guess I liked it more than because I think some of the players from Diablo 3 have been having issues with this because they're going back to the Diablo 2 formula a little bit with this. But I was shocked at how much I enjoyed my time in Diablo 4. And I thought it was just a fantastic game. It's not without its merits. It has some balancing issues, of course. I don't get affected by that because I'm a Necromancer player whenever I play Diablo, so it doesn't matter. There's no balancing for Necromancers. We're just OP to begin with. But I thought it was fantastic. The group dynamic was okay. You and I grouped the entire time. We didn't have any issues with that. And I just thought it was just a real good fun time. It actually reminded me of our couch co-op days back when that was a thing, when we used to have like two players on the same screen. So it reminded me of that. What did you think of it?
Well, I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I was about to ask you the same thing as far as how did it make you feel? Because this game reminded me of the times when we used to spend hours upon hours just gaming at your crib, man. It was just like, wow, especially getting the 4-man group together, going out and one guy's this class, one guy's that class, and fighting over the loot. Remember that? We used to fight over. Yeah. Now in this game you don't fight over the loot, but back then you used to fight over the loot.
We had to make sure that Manny didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure, or hold the side of the screen so the cat can't move. You know what I'm saying? And it was good. It was Friday, March 24th, that we played the open beta, and we were introduced to something. Slow queue times. I got in I was expecting the queues to be out the window. You know what I mean? Like, what's the longest you ever waited in queue to get into a game?
Well, for the MMOs, I want to say like 8 hours one time. I want to say it was like 8 hours.
What game was that? Because I probably played it with you. It wasn't New World, was it?
I don't think New World was that long for me.
There was a game recently that we played that we was in it. We had to wait for. Was it the Homecoming City of Heroes?
Even then, I don't think that was 8 hours. What was it that we waited for 8 hours?
No, I think it was that game. Think about it, because we was thinking, because at the same time, I think it was because we was thinking about names for our characters and our SG. Yeah. So much, we waited so long. We had like a list of names.
Yeah,
number was like hours. Yeah, ain't that crazy?
That's nuts. That's nuts. But
now we played it this weekend. We played the I'm grabbing the side like I got the microphone here and it's right here. We played the beta. And what class did you? For everybody that's watching, let them know, what class did you play?
Necromancer.
Or how many classes did you get a chance to actually play out?
I played the Druid for like a second. I played it to like maybe 5 or 6, and it just didn't. It felt underwhelming. I went back to Necromancer right away.
Necromancer, real quick. There's somebody wrote in the comment section I was reading one time. It was like, a class is bad when you're holding your own casket in your hand.
So originally when I was going into this beta, I didn't know that Necromancer was going to be unlocked. I was actually going to be a sorcerer. But once I see Necromancer, that's my go-to Diablo. I don't know why. I guess I just like pet classes, and I
like pet classes. You're a Pokemon head, so you like being in control of things. You're damn messing them characters.
Well, then being a boss too, I'm used to minions, so that's a thing too. So, but I think that's why I gravitated towards the Necromancy class, because I do like pet classes, Hunter and WoW. Even though I like healing and tanking, so it's weird. But I wanted to give Druid a try as well, but I just wound up going right back to the Necromancer. What class
Necromancer looked at pretty much a natural fit when you was playing it. Because I know your style. Like I'm pretty sure you know my style. I like hard hitting stuff. I like DPS. I like to heal sometimes, but after a while I gotta punch something in the face.
Yeah.
I can't, for not for too long. So I played the Druid. I saw some videos on how to make it a little powerful, like the Poison Bear. I was gonna try that out. Then there was Pulverizer. They were using the pulverizing build, but I mostly stood with the Rogue, and I had a lot of fun with the Rogue. It reminded me of playing a ninja. I love playing that. I also did Sorcerer. Did that for a little bit, but the damage on both were good. It was kind of, made me go, maybe I could, do this sorcerer stuff. Maybe I can, get with this. But it was really, I think, when we do play it again, I'm definitely going to probably be the Rogue more than likely. Yeah. That's the one I like. I like the customization. I like the fact that this game geared toward me. And the reason why I'm going to say me is because I'm not a long-standing Diablo player. Yeah. So I can hear when I read, or watch certain videos of people that are having their gripe with it, because they're like, man, it's not the kind of Diablo that I know. But it is introducing a lot of new people that I've read also and saw into the franchise. Like a lot of people that I know that really liked the game were almost in the same boat that I am. Like they're new to it, and it's almost like an MMO. So I'm like, I'm digging it. I do believe that they do need the biggest takeaway that they need to fix, to me, one of the cons,
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
WASD.
WASD.
It's okay, folks. He's a controller player.
Oh man,
he's not a keyboard warrior. Even though I agree with you 100%, because I had to play with the keyboard when they did not do WASD.
WASD I would play with a keyboard, because that's how you start. Like, I don't just automatically run to this, you know what I'm saying? I just think this makes it, a little bit, especially those kind of games where you got to turn the character around. I feel like it feels more natural making those turns and adjustments on a controller than it does on the mouse and keyboard. But you always start mouse and keyboard, and if that's messed up, God only knows, how else the button layouts are all messed. Like, for example, Lost Ark, as we just recently got a chance to check out. Lost Ark with me, it doesn't have WASD. Where is it's lost?
No, yeah, they're doing that whole click and point and click thing.
I can't get with that.
League of Legends, but
I can't. And here's the crazy part. To me, on controller, I thought it would be better. I'm like, I'm gonna use my controller, and it's like there's so many moves that I would love to remap on here to make it flow better, because like, when you got something that has cooldowns, you can't just spam a button, and a lot of times you instinctively try to remember when the cooldowns are, like when it'll be back, and keyboard and mouse makes you prone to look to see if the your hotkeys are ready. You don't really do that necessarily on a controller, because controller, you feel like every time I press the button, it should be ready. Like when I press the button to jump, it should jump, or should kick, or whatever the case may be. And you have to hold an extra button down to do a move.
Mm-hmm.
Like that part kills me, because then I get confused because I hold this button down, I got to press this button, then press another button. It's like, that to me is weird, bro. Like, I believe they should fix the key key bindings for that game. Until then, maybe other people that play the game that love Lost Ark, if you playing Lost Ark right now and you loving it and you saying, well, you just don't know how to play with a controller, fine, more power to you. But I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I think they need to fix that. ASD, we better.
Yep. No, I
more responsive on that end.
Yeah.
And the fact that another great thing about Diablo 4 transmogs.
Yeah.
I love the fact that
we like dressing up.
Whoa, for real. Customization in any game is great. Like that.
It's our jam. That's why we play some of your heroes. It's just to make heroes all day. We still play.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest things that people are starting to understand and realize that look at Final Fantasy 14. Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy 14 is all about showing off what you're wearing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Customization can carry a game. Like for example, you may be a free-to-play player and be like, I don't really want to spend money on this game, but you may shell out a couple of bucks for some armor or some gear that looks good, that makes what you're wearing, especially when it makes what you're wearing look better and it doesn't give you no kind of advantage over anybody else. It's just purely cosmetic and for aesthetics. I support that. You know what I mean? I think every game should take that. But in Diablo 4, the loot that you find, certain loot that you find, you could take it and it could be like, if you like the way, man, I love the way those pants look. You can keep the way that skin look and put it over your costume. And a lot of the good stuff that I saw, I don't know about a cash shop yet. I'm pretty sure they're going to have something because, of course, what day and age in the game that there's not a shop where you have to buy something from, you know, the monetary system. But I'm pretty sure they're going to have something in cash shops for armors and stuff like that. But to earn it through the game, I believe that's the best way to do things like this. Like earning it is really good.
Well, I think earning it along with the cash shop goes a long way because you get these fantastic pieces and you and I don't just stay the same gear. It's not like we're going to wear the same armor set for 4 months, right? So I think like if you have a little bit of that gear in cash shop, as long as you're having a lot of good gear free, they don't mind shelling down for good outfits as long as they feel like they can earn some of it. So I think a little good mix of it is not too bad, especially when you're trying to support the game. You know, I know we're so used to earning everything from, you know, the 80s and the 90s. But I think like the way things are now, the cash shop isn't inherently bad. It's when you're only using the cash shop and you don't allow you to earn rewards in games. And I think so far it's doing a fantastic job. I feel like some of the better armor is probably going to come from the cash shop, but I think it's doing a fantastic job of giving you enough pieces and enough different looks that you can circumvent that.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you on that. And with that being said, that brings episode 1.
Wait. Before we do that, when we end, are we going to play some Small Lands?
Yeah. When now?
Well, we're gonna play Small Lands. Y'all need to play Small Lands. It's like Grounded, but better. It's like up in the air. It's not Grounded.
Yeah. Small Lands. Oh man, I mean, oh, man, you don't bring it. This wasn't even part of the agenda. You done brought it out. This game, Small Lands, very much. If you guys are fans of the game Grounded is a very good game. I would suggest before, you know, get into Grounded first before you step to the big boys in Small Lands. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's more small. If you love Grounded, if you played Grounded and you love Grounded, Small Lands is an early access right now. You can get it on Epic Games and you can also get it on Steam. It's an early access. So that means, of course, any early access game is going to have its problems, some bugs here and there. But overall, me and Cruja have been playing this game and it reminds us so much of Grounded, but more grown up.
Yeah, it's more fluid.
It is more fluid. The combat, I love the way you move with the sword, and you got power up moves. And Grounded has danger. Don't get it wrong. There's a level of danger in Grounded that can't be overlooked when you're scared of spiders and this, that, third. But this game,
but hey, Small Lands, fix your shit. We want to remap the B button. Every time we remap the B button, it backs us out of the menu. So fix your shit.
Yeah, please. Anybody that's oh man, that B button.
That B button is atrocious.
That B button is a B.
That's supposed to roll, not crouch.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, come on now. Yeah, man. And then my thumb has a bad habit of hitting that button in time of panic and damn excitement. So yeah, they gotta definitely fix that. But yeah, Small Lands, definitely a very good game out there. Hey, you can customize your character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unlike Grounded, where you're fixated on one character.
You're grounded to one character.
You're gonna just meet these puns. Yeah, so you have to stay with one character and Grounded. And Small Lands, you create a character. You're like this hybrid humanoid bug character, and you can craft. You can do all the stuff that you could do in Grounded, but if like you said before, Cruja, it's more fluid. It's a very fluid game, and the danger is real.
Yeah.
The danger is real in that game. What was the hardest thing we fought so far? Got beat a gecko or something like that. Ran after us.
The gecko was pretty hard. Yeah.
The gecko, we had like a gecko.
I don't
we
want
had
to spoil
to
the monster. Let's not talk too much because we don't want to spoil it. We just wanted to plug it real quick.
But see, here's the thing: we don't even know what else is out there. But if you got a chance, go check out Small Land.
Small Lands, yeah.
All right. And with that being said, do you have anything else to add, Mr. King of Games? Because obviously you want to talk about that game.
Yeah, we got to renegotiate your contract because it's not self-proclaimed. I have a legitimate claim to that.
Okay. Until we pull out them receipts. He is the self-proclaimed King of Games, Cruja. I am Leeboy, aka Black Thor, and this has been episode 1 of Multi-Tap. Thank you for tapping in with us. Hopefully you guys come back again for episode 2, whatever we talk about again. And leave it in the comment section. Tell us what you think. Are we going off? Are we crazy? Is Marvel in a good state? Is DC in a good state? What do you think about The Little Mermaid? And are you going to play Diablo 4 when it officially releases in, I believe, June? And have you checked out Small Lands?
Small Lands.
All right. And with that being said, go check out Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. No, don't check it out. They messed up her hair.
All right, later, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Tap out. Tap in to tap out. We'll catch you next time. You're checking out Multi-Tap here on YouTube or whatever platform you're listening to. Make sure you hit the comment section, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel. Show some love and support. And don't forget, we on them social medias. We on them TikToks. We on them Twitters. We on them IGs. So make sure you tap in with us so you can tap out right here on Multi-Tap.